Spartans! What is your profession?
Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stay. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below, lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. Trying to find my luck. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. Wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter. Now just screams, trying to climb back up the wall. But every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this. Reclaim the throne I start to miss. Right now just lost in despair. Grasping for hope, it's nowhere. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. I'm lost, trying to find my luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.
Welcome back to another Sunday afternoon episode of Software Explorations, hosted by your truly Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win, or as some people may say, I try to annoy you to success. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I am unsuccessful at that. But I do try my best. I want to see every last one of you successful, and I want to celebrate all of your success stories. All right. Anyways, let's get the show started. Welcome. So happy to see you here. It is a great pleasure and honor that you allow me to just pour in a little bit of value, whatever much value I can add into your life. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to do that. All right. So let's jump into our agenda really quick. So today we're going to be getting back to working on our secrets for Kubernetes. Last week we did a slight pivot because I wanted to see if we could install N8N, which is a builder AI, like very low to no code builder where you can use AI agents, where you can use connect this different stuff. We installed that successfully last week. It was really fun. I'm going to be looking into that a lot more, but this week we're going back into our Kubernetes so that we can try to figure out the secrets thing so then we can continue moving on with this course. All right. In a little bit, I will be jumping into a little bit more about our plans for today. But basically, we got an error last time. We are working on this about not being able to find the secrets. So we're going to be testing that out today to see what we can do to get that working. So that's where we're going to go today, right? So first thing that I want to do now is say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel. Those who are brand new, we've been growing a lot recently, and those who have been with me for a very long time, from day one all the way to today, every last one of you, I appreciate you for allowing me to try to add some value, some insight, some knowledge in the tech space, the career space, into your lives. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you.
Next up, I got to give a special shout out and salute to all of the Tech Coach Off Patreon members. Those are the Tech Barbarians. Those I work with one-on-one. The Tech Project members, I also work with one-on-one. The technical explorers who are working so hard learning Python. They are, sharing about job opportunities in the Tech Coach Off Discord. So many different things that we're doing in there. So I just want to say shout out to all of you who come and work so hard day in, day out. You guys are the best.
We the best.
And last but certainly not least, shout out to the tech mercenaries out there. Those are the YouTube channel members who keep this channel, allow me to come on YouTube day in and day out. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, real quick, our upcoming shows. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be going live with our large language models. And we're gonna be working on that tomorrow because it is a holiday. I'll probably start a little bit later, slightly later, maybe around 8:15, 8:30, and we'll probably go for a little bit longer, maybe about an hour and a half. We're gonna be going through the course. I think we're on either day 3 or heading into day 4. We were doing conversational chatbots last week. I think I'm gonna check tonight. Either we're gonna continue with conversational chatbots or we're gonna move into day 4, I believe, to keep the course moving. But yeah, probably a little bit longer tomorrow because I have a little bit more time available in the morning. Go from there, and then tomorrow at noon Eastern time, we're going to be premiering Candid Conversation. I'm going to be asking the question about is there a domino effect to bad decision making? If you did not make the right decision at this point, I'm going to be referencing the old school game Domino Rally. I don't know if it's a game, but there was a toy, kind of like a toy, Domino Rally. I'm going to be referencing that. Is there a domino effect? Domino, like when one drops and then it just goes through all the other ones. Is there a domino effect of bad decision making, right? That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Wednesday for software explorations, concept and overviews. That's going to be on Wednesday. We're going to be, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be showing how to create an S3 bucket and upload via Python, AWS S3 or AWS Bodo library. I'll confirm that, but that's where I'm leaning to. And then we're going to have the bug bite on Friday, which I don't even remember what that's going to be about, but we will talk about that throughout the week. All right. So those are the upcoming shows for this coming week. We're going to be live on Tuesday, of course, for our tech Q&A, and then we're going to be doing our ethical hacking on Thursday. So tune in and let's have some fun this week. Let's get our learning on. All right, what I'm going to do now, let me see. No, before I do that, so let me give you a rundown of what we're going to be talking about today, right? So today I have an icebreaker, but I'm going to keep the icebreaker for when I share it in a little bit. But today we're going to be working on our secrets implementation. And then I do want to end the show with, I saw something called Google Stitch, which is supposed to be for UI UX, which I want to get into that. I want to sample that in the third segment, the last segment of the show, as well as if I have access to this Google VO, this image to, or is it image or is it text to video? I think it's text to video generator with audio. So I want to try that out. I don't know if I have access to it. I'm going to see if I can. If not, then so be it. But I did want to see if I could try that out, where from the previews that I saw on it, it gets the it matches the voice really well. I did notice that the text is all messed up as usual because AI is pretty bad with text on images and apparently on video too. From the previews that I saw on it, or from the samples that I saw, but I want to try it out. So if I have access to it, I will try it out. If not, then so be it. But so I do want to try that out. But Google Stitch is for AI for UI UX generation. I want to try that out as well to see how that works out. I think I do have access to Google Stitch, so we shall see. We shall see. And then in our breaks, I want to discuss, should people still learn Python? And I also want, we're also going to be discussing in our second break how to, like, should you interrupt people? And if so, like when people who can't, stop talking, should you interrupt them? And if you should, how should you do it? Right? Because for me, I try to avoid interrupting people, but sometimes it just might be necessary. And then to finish off the show, I want to talk about the Microsoft CPO, Chief Product Officer, says that we should stick with computer science. We're going to touch on that as well. So that's going to be during our breaks and to wrap up the show. And we are going to interact with the chat like I'm about to do right now. So that is our game plan for today. All right. But I am going to check the chat and see what we've got going on. Who do we have in the building? And bright and early, we had OTTO in the building. Says, I sent you a text about something you may find interesting, and I received it. And I was thinking about going into that today, but I don't know if I have access. I looked at the plan that includes it, the Google Ultra AI plan, and I was like, good Lord, that is a lot of money. But if I have sample access to the Google VO, we will definitely try that out. So shout out to OTTO, always keeping his homie on his mind. I appreciate that, OTTO.
I appreciate you.
We have the one, the only, Rock the Scrubs Roxy in the building. Roxy says, glossy as ever. Thank you. I try to be a little bit glossy every now and then. Roxy, welcome. How are you doing? Hopefully you are having a phenomenal weekend. And OTTO says, for the VO3, I think you have to have Pro plan for $250 a month. I think the Ultra was $250 a month, if I'm correct, because I looked it up. I said, what? And I saw I'm looking it up right now, because when I got, I'm like, let me see, how much is this thing? All right, so the Google AI Pro plan is $20 a month. And the Google AI Ultra plan is $250 a month. However, for the first 3 months, they are going to give it to you for $124.99.
Bruh.
It's probably worth it if you are working deeply in AI and stuff like that. But I cannot justify $124.99 right now and $250 a month right now. But if we run it up,
Money.
then maybe. But I'm curious. I am curious to see. I'm gonna see what we have available. I don't know if I'll be able to use Google VO. I'll give it a try. If not, then it is what it is. I've used some different image text and image to video, but that voice part that Google has on it, that is game breaking right there. But let's get into it. All right, so I know that Roxy is definitely going to scold me for this icebreaker, but I can only be me. I can only be me. I hear it right now.
How dare you?
But it is what it is. It is what it is. So the question that I have for our icebreaker is, all right, so before I even put it on the screen, if you are in cybersecurity, and I have a video about this on this channel as well, I am sure you have heard of zero trust architecture, right? I'm sure you've heard of zero trust architecture, haven't you? Right? So I was wondering, right? Here I go getting in trouble. Should we have zero trust friendship architecture? Zero trust friendship architecture. I literally thought about this like 10 minutes before the show. And okay, so what do I mean by zero trust friendship architecture, right? So this is what I mean, right? So if you're familiar with zero trust architecture when it comes to business and cybersecurity, that means you give the least amount of necessary privileges for people to be able to get their job done, right? So you don't just give them full access, you give them the least amount, and based on when they need more access, then you decide if you're going to grant it to them or not. So let me put 5. Hopefully I don't need 5 minutes. I'll throw 5 minutes up on there, right? So let's go through this, right? So what I was thinking, because a lot of people, they like to give the benefit of the doubt. And I think giving the benefit of the doubt is usually to our detriment, right? I think it's usually to our detriment. We are so easy to let people into our atmosphere, into our vibe, and of course, you know, when you first meet people, they're going to give like the representation of themselves, and we give the benefit of the doubt. But I'm like, what if we were to have a zero trust, and you build trust, and you build, and you, because I was thinking about my video about friends with benefits, and how having like that reciprocating value, like the people that you look out for, they also look out for you. And I'm thinking, well, because I think from my experience, and my experiences can be totally different than other people, right? But I think from my experience that normally you lose more friends than you keep. OTTO, let me know what you think. Do you think in life you lose more friends than you actually keep, right? Because if you look back, all the people that you were friends with from elementary school all the way up to today, how many of them can you say that you are still friends with? How many of them have turned their backs on you, right? If you guys watched Rod Brown's video from the other day, how he was backstabbed, betrayed by somebody he thought was really, really close to him. So I'm just wondering, like, well, what kind of infrastructure? Because for me, I think I try to see a lot of things through a business lens. If businesses don't just give out their API keys because they trust any and everybody, then why do we just give out our friendships without the trust being, acquired, being developing? I mean, we don't give our, like, when we meet somebody, we don't give our bank account information, our social security information, stuff like that, right? So is it wrong that people would not be just so willy-nilly trusting of new people that come into their lives? And it's like, oh no, you have to actually build the trust. You have to build the trust over time. Zero trust friendship architecture. Is that crazy? Am I crazy? Am I crazy for wondering if over time you like, you know, so as permission is needed to access more, then you give that permission. As opposed to, oh, you meet somebody on Friday and then on Saturday, oh, we're friends. We're just friends. I think the word friends is used way too loosely. I think it's used it's used way too loosely. And I think that if we add trust, add permissions based on necessity, then over time you can see, okay, so it's like this, right? It's like this with zero trust architecture. So let's say you start working at a company and you don't need administrator access on your first day. You're like, okay, you can look at you can look at the GitHub repos. You can't add to it. You can just look at it, right? And then as you start to get more comfortable, okay, now you can get access to the repo, but when you push something, it needs to be approved by certain people to make sure like you're not willy-nilly just writing random code. And I think the same way with the friendship, like, okay, cool. So when I see you, right? And and as that starts to build, okay, well, I do this and I do that.
Get a
Oh,
move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to
and it's,
work.
and it's like, oh, well, I do this and I do that. Oh, you know what? This can add some, like, what I do can add value to what you're doing, and what you're doing can add value to what I'm doing. And now we're starting to add some more trust, right? So I don't know. Am I off? Am I off? Zero trust friendship architecture could that be a thing? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, because a lot of times people will come into your lives and we just want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then it is total chaos and destruction. All right? I'm just saying.
Bruh.
All right, anyway, that was my icebreaker. That I just it popped into my mind. I'm like, could that be a thing? Could that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Could zero trust friendship architecture actually be a thing where it will help you vet people even better to see if they have a spot in your life or not? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, let's move on. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know every time we go live and drop new content, as well. TechWithDrop.dev. Access to exclusive content. The link is in the description. It's pinned to the top of the chat. All of that good stuff. All right. But we are going to, I'm gonna check the chat, and then we're gonna get to our first working segment. Okay. Let me see. OTTO says, let's see. So it says, I think you're right. And also says, I'm a Scorpio, have always had zero trust friendship architecture in place. Okay, so I guess I'm late to the party. But I hear you. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. OTCO says maybe 5 people at most. People are quick to switch up if they aren't benefiting in some type of way. But I think that there should be, I do think there should be benefits to friendships, though. I think that there should be, because a lot of times OTTO, the benefits will be one-sided. So I do think that there should, I think friends should have some type of benefits to it, not to just sit around and stare at each other, doing nothing, not going anywhere. We should be pushing each other forward, right? I don't like to be friends with people who aren't going anywhere, who aren't being stagnant. All right. And I've lost people because of that. But guess what? That is a-okay with me. All right. But that's it. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into work for today. All right. So we are going to, let me put up 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
So last time we were working on this, I got an error message that said that where is it? it said that, so it couldn't do the connect to the database. Referencing the secret is not allowed because service account under UDEC does not reference that secret. I have this Medium article that I have stored over here so we can see what's going on with that. We are going to switch to that. All right, so we used this URL or this Medium article the other day to help us with trying to figure out what's going on. Where's my mouse? All right, let me go to a little bit bigger. All right, so let me see. So in the error that we're getting is the database connection is not allowed because service account UDC does not reference that secret. All right. So also what I'm going to do is I am going to start up our infrastructure. So I already have GKE running. I want to do a couple of things. Let me open up a terminal. And I'm going to go to WebStorm projects. We're going to go to UDEC or Urban Dictionary Infrastructure. And we're going to go to ls Kubernetes cd Kubernetes ls, and we have everything in there. Service accounts, app secrets, backend. All right, so we want to start up the backend, and then once we get the backend running, then we'll figure out the front end. We're gonna do, let's see if I can remember this, G Cloud, and we're gonna do containers, cluster, and we're gonna go to get credentials, and we're gonna do UDEC-GKE cluster, and then we're gonna do location equals or is it, I think, is it location or region? Let me try with location. I think it's location. Equals US East 1. And we're good. Awesome. So that worked. All right. So let me clear this out, and we're gonna do ls. We're gonna do cube CTL apply. Then we're gonna say app secrets. Oh no, -f and then app secrets. Let me do service account first. Let's do that. And the service account is created. Now we're going to do the same thing for app secrets. Cube. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting everything up and running. We're going to do app secrets. So UDC Mongo Connect is created. And we're going to go to CD backend. And we're going to do something that I figured out when we were doing the N8N the other day is that we can do apply, or not apply, cube CTO dash F, or no, apply dash F and do a dot, and that should apply everything in the folder. Let's see how that works out. We got our pod UDEC-PE, and we have our service account. So everything is up and running. Now I'm going to do cube CTL. We're going to do get deployments. And the back end deployments is created, but it is not it's not up. So we're gonna review the logs in Google Cloud, but I just wanted to get everything up and running. We have the load balancer. So, and this is really cool because we can get everything. Like if we had to do this manually inside of the console, it would take us a long time. We got it done in about 5 minutes, less than that, because I was talking at the beginning. So, but nothing is actually running right now. So we're going to do some investigation because I'm pretty sure it has to do with the. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the. What do you call it? The error that we got last time about the secrets not being able to connect. So we are going to go into. First, I'm going to log into MongoDB, and I am going to make the. I'm going to make the access to the database to be public. Let's see, network access, add IP, allow access from anywhere, confirm. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let me change that to. All right, cool. So that should be up and running. And I'm going to go to, so let's switch over here and we're going to do console. We're going to go to GKE, Kubernetes engine. We're going to go to this right here. So this is basically where we left off the other day. Can't scale up due to exceeded quota. What? Can't scale up. No. What are we talking about here? Is that what's going on? I don't know. All right, let's see what we got going on. So let's go to workloads. All right, so the error. Oh, wait a second. This is from. What is this from? So this is from. Is it from last time or is this from this time? Can I get a timeline? Okay, so this is the pod. Container UDCB is waiting. All right, so I think this is recent. Yeah, this has to be recent because this is a new cluster. All right, so all right, so it says the is forbidden container with environment variable database connection referencing secret name UDC Mongo is not allowed because the service account UDC service account does not reference that secret. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick up where we left off. I'm going to search for this error right here. I don't think it was in here. Not reference now. All right, so let's search for this error. Not allowed indicates that the service account is not associated with the secret you're trying to use. This usually happens because the secret wasn't explicitly created or linked to the service account. In Kubernetes, service account tokens are not automatically generated. You need to manually create and associate secrets with them. Here's a breakdown of the problem and how to fix it. No automatic secret creation. Creating a service account doesn't automatically generate a secret containing the token. Missing association. The service account needs to be explicitly linked to the service account. How to fix it. Create the secret. If the secret doesn't exist, you need to create it using kubectl or another Kubernetes tool. For example, you can use kubectl create secret, generic secret name, from literal token, yada, 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 replace secret name. You will need to find or generate a valid token, associate the secret with the service account, and annotate the secret with Kubernetes IO service account.name. Let's see. So let's say you have a service account named UDC service account. I believe that's what I have it named. And you want to create a secret name, UDC service account secret. Let's see, from literal token. So, but if we have to do this, that kind of defeats the purpose of. I have to see if we can do that through the YAML files. Annotate the secret. Let's see, kind secret. Modify the service account. Restart the pods. So let's take a look at over here. So service account, yes. App secrets. All right, so we have UDC Mongo Connect, provider, oh, I see something that's missing here. So we would want to say under here, annotations, colon, and kubernetes.io/service account name is udec-service account. Let's make sure that's what that is. UDC, yep, udec.service account. udec.service account. And then it says to restart the pods that are using the UDC service account. All right, so I am gonna go back to here, and we're going to say, let's apply them again for the cd ls kubectl apply -f app secrets. Can I do service? Can I do both? I can do both of them all at once, right? Or not. Thought I could get away with that, but apparently maybe not. What if I try with a comma? See if I do a comma. Nope. All right. I tried. Let's do them one by one. There's probably a way to do it though. We do that one. App secrets should be applied. And then we should do service account. Unchanged. Okay, so now if we do kubectl, I don't remember how to do that rollout thing. Kubectl. Roll out, restart, deployment, UDCB. Look at that. Just tabbed my way through it. All right, so the restart is happening. Let me see. Kubectl get deployments. Age 10 minutes. All right, let's go and take a look in the. Let's go take a look over here. See if anything new is happening. Let's see. There goes this cluster. Secrets. So we do have some secrets configured here. And config maps. Application. Nope, not application. Workloads. I don't know how long ago this error is from. Let's see, custom. Let's say from, what time is it? 3:31. Let's go from 3:25 to 3:31. Let's say logs. Anything in the logs? Nothing that I see yet. All right, there we go. So this is at 3:26. Mount volume. All right, so let's take a look at these errors. So if we go back to when we started, 3:20 pod here. So we can't scale. Okay. Added this, ensured load. So, all right. So the first one at 3:22, mount volume setup failed for volume. My secret is not found in the list of registered CSI drivers. Okay. And then over here, so if it can't mount, it definitely won't be able to find it. So let's dig into that. Let's see. Let's copy this. Let's take a look. So this is Azure. I want to take a look at Azure. Let's see what this one says. That doesn't really help. So this page explains how to install a container storage interface. So CSI stands for Container Storage Interface on Google Kubernetes Engine standard. This page doesn't apply to GKE Autopilot. It automatically uses compute engine persistent disk. So we're using, all right. So using the compute engine persistent disk CSI driver for Linux clusters, because that's one that we're using. Storage K81 or IOV1 storage class. So it looks like this might have to be our provisioner. Let me take a look at but that's for storage though. So if we do a search for, because this is telling us about my secret failed at the CSI. Where does my secret come into play? Let me go over here. My secret. Okay. Oh. I see. So secret store.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
So that's on the pod side of it. All right, we'll look into that. We'll look into that after break, all right? But We're getting there. We are getting there. All right. But let's go to break. Let me check the chat, and then we're going to get into our Python article discussion. Let me see what we got going on over here. We have, let me see, last message was, OTTO had said in reference to the zero trust friendship. Junior, I had this crazy thought. I don't know what it must be this hat that made me think about this, but in our icebreaker, I was talking about zero trust friendship. Yes. Zero trust friendship architecture, on how businesses use a zero trust architecture to secure their systems from cyber attacks and unauthorized access. And I was like, could there be such thing as a zero trust friendship architecture? So that's what OTCO is responding to right now. It says it will have to be monitored because intentions can change over time. People can seem genuine in the beginning, and then they switch up on you. That does make sense. That's why I had that song, Guarded Hearts. Junior says, what's up? Family, what's good? Junior, how are you doing today on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon? All right, so let's get into this Python talk, right? A lot of people are like, oh, should we continue to learn coding? Is Python still worth learning? And so I came across this article which shares 10 reasons on Python's popularity and why it's still worth learning Python. So I think Python is one of the easier languages to get into. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. So I will always advocate for learning Python. Let's go over to the screen. Let me go to the top. And we're going to throw up 5 minutes. Might go a little bit longer, but it is what it is. So reason Python is still the most popular programming language. So Eric Walter, the author of this article, is going to share with us the top 10 reasons behind Python's popularity, including ease of use, automation, libraries, cross-platform support, and high demand in tech industries. It does have a high demand. They're gonna. I skimmed through it real quick. I saw like the first 2 reasons, but I use Python at work. A lot of people use Python at work. We use it for like in QA for automation, as well as like engineers use it to write quick little scripts to be able to loop through things. It's not our software isn't built on Python, but our test automation, we use Python for it. For now, and when we need like quick scripts done, we do it in Python as well. All right, so let's read together about this. So let me zoom in on this actually, and I will drop the link in the chat in case anybody wants to read it on their own time. Let's go to why Python is popular. All right. Oh, I spelled article wrong. There we go. All right. So, in the list of programming languages, Python lies at the top. Started from the bottom, now we here. It is in high demand for many programmers, developers, and businesses. As of recent estimates, it has more than 10 million, good lord, that's a lot of active users globally, including seasoned developers, coding beginners, data scientists, and business leaders. But the question here is why Python's popularity is continuously rising. What makes professionals and organizations choose it for everything from simple scripts to building complex enterprise applications? I don't know. I don't know about the complex enterprise applications being built on Python. I know there are some, but I don't know. I think complex applications they're probably built on Java or C#. I think those are the top, but I could be wrong. In this blog, we'll discuss top 10 reasons behind Python's popularity, stemming from its simple syntax, extensive libraries, robust community, high job demand, and more. So, top 10 reasons behind Python popularity. The number 1 reason is simple to learn, read and to use. I would agree with that. I think that, and I also say, being that I knew a good amount of Java before I learned Python, it was easier to learn Python. I told a story about how I helped my cousin to do her master's thesis project in Python when I had never written a line of Python before, but I was able to, my prior knowledge in software development and coding was able to help me help her. So one of the top reasons that are contributing to Python's popularity is that simplicity. Python is as simple as the English language, so both programmers and non-programmers can use it for simple projects. I wouldn't say it's that easy, but and is the English language really that easy? Some would argue that it's not. Some would argue that it's not. All right. Says it is interpreted. So the following built-in features of Python make it more beginner-friendly language. It is an interpreted language that allows developers to apply code line by line. It provides dynamic typing, so to help the program decide what value of the variable. It has ready-to-use data structures such as lists, sets, and dictionaries. It offers reusable functions and independent modules. It does. Those who want to build a robust, scalable application with the help of Python can hire Python developers. They ensure to provide projects fast and error-free by using Python simple syntax. Number 2, it's versatile and robust. Python is a general-purpose programming language. It is helpful in several different fields and applications. Web development, it helps connect the front end and the back end for seamless development. Software development, keep up with prototyping and third-party integrations. Game development enables rapid development and interactive features. Data analysis makes data manipulation and visualization seamless. Machine learning, which that's a big one for Python, makes predictions and decision-based tasks easy with enhancing models. AI, artificial intelligence.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Creates systems to perform tasks like voice recognition and image classifications. So all these application benefit Python developers by leveraging Python built-in libraries and frameworks. So definitely, I have seen and used Python in all of these aspects, and it can definitely be used for it, especially machine learning and AI. Python is very, very strong in that. Data analysis as well, very, very strong. I'm not familiar with the game development for that Python does, so I can't really speak on that one. And software development, it can be. I don't know if Python is necessarily the best language for software development, although it can be done. Web development, I'm a little torn to say I would build websites in Python, but there might be some benefits to it sometimes. All right. Number 3, extensive libraries and frameworks. Python has a wide range of built-in libraries, tools, and frameworks to help developers build different types of applications. Some popular libraries and frameworks of Python are the following. So Django, Flask, Jinja, I never heard of Jinja, and SQL Alchemy for web development. PyQt, Tinker, OS, Sys, and subprocessor for software development. Panda 3D, Cocos 2D, Pygame, and Arcade for game development. Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. Oh, Matplotlib is my arch nemesis. And Seaborn for data analysis. And then TensorFlow, PyTorch, Scikit, learning for machine learning. And then for AI, PyTorch, OpenCV, NLTK, and SPA-Sci for artificial intelligence. So these are the tools that developers use. It has a supportive community because it's probably the most widely used language in the world, I'm guessing. So with the support of over 10 million users, Python has become one of the larger active communities in the world. It ensures that Python developers can find the best possible solutions whenever they need. The following resources are contributing to Python's support and growth. The active community of developers is engaged through different platforms such as Stack Overflow, GitHub, Reddit, Python Discord, and dev.to. Python's official documentation is broader. So there's educational platforms, YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, and Free Code Camp provide tutorials for developers. I learned how to use Python using Udemy, using what is the name? App Brewery with Angela Yu, 100 Days of Python. That gave me a lot of knowledge. So that's a really good course. I think I have it in the description of the video. If not, I'll put it in after the show. But I recommend That would be my go-to. There's also a machine learning course that I have to get back to, but that's also another really good machine learning course. It's data science, data engineering, machine learning. They probably added AI onto it as well. I'll add a link to that one in the description as well. Free libraries and frameworks are maintained by the community and accessible to developers through Pi, and GitHub. Let's see. Automating tasks with ease. Python does make it very easy to automate tasks. Data scraping, file management, sending emails and replies, data entry, creating reports, building chatbots. High job demand. The jump in Python popularity has also increased its job demand. The reason more programmers are learning Python is they have observed more potential in its career growth, and compared to other languages, one having skills in Python can apply for the following jobs: web developer, data analyst, software engineer, game developer, AI engineer, DevOps engineer, automation engineer. I don't know about this one. I don't know about high job demand. Because I don't know, because when I'm looking, I don't know many developers that are like that write pro, like serious production code in Python. Some exist, some applications are built on Python, but I would think, like for me, I would think that C Sharp, Java, and JavaScript, with like JavaScript, TypeScript, Node, those would be the core. Python has its use, but I don't know if it's for web development in particularly, or software engineer in particular, right? Data analyst, definitely. Game developer, maybe. AI engineer, 100%. DevOps engineer, yes. Automation tester, depends on the company, right? So that's my thoughts on that. Cross-platform compatibility. One of the highlighted features of Python is cross-platform compatibility, which allows users to write code at one time and run it in any operating system such as Windows, Linux, Mac OS, or platforms like Oracle, IBM, and in Docker, Kubernetes, stuff like that as well. It's beneficial to both developers and the businesses. Developers, it saves development time, simplifies testing, and less maintenance work. On the other hand, business can get a cost-effective solution, faster time to market, and broader outreach. So that is definitely true. Constantly advancing with strong ecosystem. That is true. When choosing a language, businesses look for an option that is growing continuously. So Python is the right fit there. Python's strong ecosystem is always contributing to coming up with the latest features. The latest version of Python 3.12 enhances developer experience, optimizes performance, and provides more code clarity. Additionally, it has introduced the following features. Oh my God, I love F strings. So F strings is a way to display variables in the middle of a regular string. Before, you have to do a bunch of crazy stuff in order to get it to do it. So I am in love with F strings. Override decorator to prevent mistakes, clean typing by using generics, enhanced error message to catch and solve bugs easily, remove old tools such as disutils. Let's see. Python also has the Python package index, which is all built-in tools available to help you select which is perfect for your project. Widely used in education. That is definitely true. Many education institutions are choosing Python as the right language that will help students learn more about programming. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Python is a good gateway learning language drug, right? Learning Python first gives you a good amount of leeway. It is added as an introductory course in many colleges and universities. The basic concepts that students are learning are variables and data types, operators, control flow functions, list tuples, and dictionaries, indexing and slicing, modules, and libraries. So I'll say this though, and because the reason, which sucks, but the reason that I could not stomach computer science in college is, imagine if you do not have any programming background, right? But you say, I'm gonna go to college because I like computers, and the only thing I've ever heard about is computer science. And now you go and you're one of your very, very first courses is Intro to C++. That was one of my first classes when I got to college, and I'm like, I don't know what C++ is. I had never actually written a line of code in my life, and now they just throw you at it and like I expect you to do this, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, I had no idea what I was doing trying to figure out this code. It was a nightmare, and that pushed me away from it. But if one, I'd have been like more prepared, more well versed in some kind of like in what programming was, and if I had like learned in high school Python, I think I would have stayed in computer science, and I've been much I would have did much better in a much better position if I actually knew what I was getting into. So that's something I always recommend. Don't just let these there's graduations happening right now, and students might not even know what exactly computer science is. They don't know what they're getting into, and I'm like, we need to start them off a little bit earlier so they can start getting the foundation of programming, so that they can know what they're like, they can understand what they're learning in college. So I think it starts a lot earlier than once you select your major. um, I think the major should be selected at about seventh grade and start working towards learning how to program, learning about data types, slicing, all that stuff. In seventh grade, seventh, eighth grade, I think that they can do the 100 days of Python so that once they actually get to college, they are acing their classes like there is no tomorrow. That's my thoughts on that, right? That's my thoughts. And number 10, trusted by big names. The usage of Python by many big companies have made it even more trustworthy. They leverage Python to carry out their simple and complex tasks. Python has gained the trust of these companies by offering flexibility, scalability, and security. Here's how some companies are using Python. Google uses it as a server-side language. Netflix utilizes Python for automation and data analysis. Facebook relies on it for backend services and machine learning workflows. Spotify uses it for recommendation and backend services. Dropbox manages its backend and front-end tasks with the help of Python. So what we see here, what I can see here is none of these major companies, other than like somewhat of Dropbox, they use it for like their web development. They use it for data, right? For automation and for data analysis. Facebook for backend services and machine learning workflows. Spotify for recommendations. That's like machine learning, AI backend services. So for me, I would say like if you want to be a web developer, I probably would not go the route of Python first. I would still learn Python, but I wouldn't go the route of learning Python first for web development. I'd probably go the route of like full stack, Node for and database and stuff like that. But if you're interested in AI, large language models, prompt engineering, data science, data engineering, machine learning, you know, I would say go with Python. It is going to have lots and lots of benefits, and you can start creating your own things as well. So, but that's about it. So shout out to Eric Walter. In conclusion, Eric says Python is the go-to choice for many professionals and developers. It offers simple syntax, cross-platform compatibility, a supportive community, and built-in libraries and frameworks. Moreover, the trust of big companies, easy automation, and continuous advancements have made it a more reliable option among other programming languages. So yeah, so that's about it. I think that was a great article, and Python. I definitely think Python is very, very worth it. Especially if you're looking into if you want to learn more about AI and data. I would go through this article, see what it's talking about. I encourage most of the people that I run into learn Python, learn Python, learn Python. Even if you don't have a use for it right now, as you start using it, as you start working with it, you're going to see the different things you can use it for, and you can start just build something and run it up from there, right? But that is our very, very first break time discussion. Let's get that off the screen. And we do not have anything in the chat, so we can keep going. We can keep it moving, all right? So we are going to, actually, I need to get a sip first. All right, now we can get moving. Let's do another 20 minutes.
Let's go! Let's go!
Reminder, in our last 20 minutes, we're going to be exploring Google Stitch and maybe Google VO. All right, Google VO is that text to video generation that Google just launched. Google Stitch is I believe it's supposed to be for UI UX. So, but we'll get to there. Do me a favor though, like the video, share the video. subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. All right. Let's do. Where are we? All right. So let's take a look at our error messages. All right, so it says not found in the list of registered, and this is on the pod, I believe, for my secret. And I see that my secret, the volume secret. Okay, so let's do this, right? I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna. I know I did that earlier, but let me see what's going on here. So all of this is Azure. We can still glean from what this error means, all right? Let's see. Is not found in the registered list. Pod name. Let's see. The AKS cluster in question is using system assigned identity. Not sure if it helps, but I see some errors like kubectl logs. Failed to set status. Was running the new node and you saw the errors. Could you share the secret provider class that you're using? I can try to repro. I just tried to repro with the sample set. So let's check that real quick. Make sure that my secret, let's close that. Let's close that. App secret, so app version, secret store, CSI, K8 V1, kind, secret provider class, name. So here's a question. Should the name match? So let's do, should the name of the secret in the secret provider class match the name of the secret on the pod? Yes, the name of the secret in the secret provider class must match the name on the pod. The object name field in the secret objects field of the secret provider class needs to correspond to either the file name of the mounted content or the object alias if the provider uses. So looking over here, if the provider uses the object alias, this ensures the secret store CSI driver can accurately locate and sync the secret data from the external. Okay. So here it has the name my provider, secret name, all right. So if we look over here and we look over here, so this one, volume. So looking at over here, UDEC. So setup failed for volume my secret. Failed to get secret provider class, default secret provider class, error, secret provider class, UDC secret provider class not found. So this is a 24. So this is a different error. This is a different error now. If we say let's search that one. The error mount volume setup failed. My secret code indicates that the pod is unable to retrieve the configuration detail for secret provider class used to mount the secret volume named my secret. This usually happens when the secret provider class itself or with communication between the pod and relevant service. Incorrect or missing, so I don't think that's what it is. Might not have the necessary permissions to access. Check the pod's permission. Verify the pod service account has the necessary permission to access the secret provider class. I think it does. Yes, has service account. Examine the network. Check for any restart or restart relevant pods or even the entire secret provider class. Let's see. How do I know if the secret is being secret? All right, so let's take a look at so inside the pod we have this here. And if I look at the Medium article, let's take a look at the Medium article, see if we made any mistakes here. So we have the pod YAML secret provider class, my secrets, mount var secret. Let me see. This is the pod file. So we have the service account name. Okay, we have the secrets name. So they named this just secret provider class. Let me check this secret file. Oh, wait a second here. So this is called secret provider class. And this is secret provider class. Let's go back over here. And app secret, the metadata is named UDEC Mongo Connect. So let's change this to UDEC.secret provider class. Everything else should be okay. So let's try to apply that one again. So let's do apply the secrets again. I will apply the service accounts, but I don't think I need to. Okay, that wasn't changed. We're gonna do the rollout again. So it's restarted. And kubectl get deployments. All right. Still not started, but let's go back over here. And let's refresh. Scaled up replica set. Scaled down replica set at 405. So that was just a second ago. It looks like it happened again. UDC secret provider class. Not found. Because the service account does not reference that secret. Scaled down from 3 to 2, scaled up from 0 to 1. Let's see. Workloads. Still not there. Let me try to do that pod again though. CD backend up Q. So I'm over here. I'm gonna try to do that pod one more time. Oops. Q apply -F. All right, so we did the pod. Let's see here. Nothing here. It's not allowed because the service account does not reference that secret. So events, back off, successfully pulled the image. Over here, failed to get service account provider class default. Is not found. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's say GCP indicates that your Kubernetes pod are trying to deploy unable to access service provider class resource for accessing Google Cloud secrets. We saw that earlier. Incorrect. Ensure that the credentials to access Google Cloud's project secrets. Exist in the same namespace as your pod and that it's correctly specified in the pod's volume mount. Let's see. Double check that the secret provider class resource exists in the same namespace as your pod and that it's correctly specified in the pod's volume mount. I mean, the namespace is default. Service account. I do a namespace the other day. So the namespace is default. UDEC service account. Service account. Okay. Service. Wait a second. Wait. No, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And so UDC secret provider class, UDC secret provider class. Let's see. Not seeing anything with that. I am not seeing it. Let's see if there's any difference. So where do they configure their? Where did they configure their? So this is good, I hope. Define which secrets to mount. Provider. Do I have a provider in mind? Yes, I do. Provider GKE. Yep. Secrets. Replace the following secret provider class with the name of your secret provider class object. CCD. Okay. Secret manager. Secret. All right. Set up storage volumes to mount the secret. So secret. Var secrets. My secret. So secret, replace the name. So replace the following: secret, the name of the Kubernetes pod where the secret is mounted. What? So replace secret with the name of your. Okay, we got this one done. We don't need this one. We don't have that. Secret service account. The Kubernetes service account that you set up in the step to configure. So the name of the service account that you set up in to configure the application to authenticate the secret manager API, the name of the Kubernetes namespace, the name of the Kubernetes pod where the secret is mounted. All right, so let me see. And that is in the pod file, right? So let's look at the pod. So secret would be the name of the Kubernetes pod where the secret is stored. I don't know if it's stored there. The name of the Kubernetes namespace for the service account. Do I have that in there? Yes, I do. Namespace. Secret service account. Where's that? So service account name. Wait a second. Service. Oh, okay. Service account name is secret service account. Let's go up. The name of your existing. All right, so we got that done. So weird. Configure applications to authenticate the secret manager API. Name of your container. Name of your secret service. Your secret provider class. I mean, my secret provider class.
Lunch break!
Is
Lunch break!
this. Okay. Okay. When we come back from break, we will check. Well, actually, no. When we come back from break, we're going to look into Google Stitch and to Google VO. All right, we'll do VO first, and then we'll do Stitch because I don't know if I have access to VO. All right, but we're on break. A lot of troubleshooting, trying to figure out this connection. Not always the easiest of tasks to figure out, of course, but we're gonna get it. We don't miss. I see us trying. It's on the struggle bus, but we'll get there. We will get there. Let me wait a second. Nope, it's not there. All right, cool. Just thought I saw something weird. All right. We'll figure it out. Anyways, we're on break. We are on break. Let me check the chat, and then we will continue on with the show. Get to break. We're gonna have a great break time discussion about interrupting, things of that nature. All right. Let me see who we got in the building. We have Magnetar making a grand entrance as trips and falls into the room, knocking over equipment.
Bruh.
Good afternoon, Magnetar. How are you doing? Magnetar says, I'm okay. Nothing to see here. Hopefully you're doing well. Hey Magnetar, what's the temperature over there in Vegas? Is it, or not Vegas, but in Nevada? I'm not sure if you are in Vegas. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But how's the temperature out there in Nevada? It is, for me down here, it is, it's actually 88 degrees today. We were supposed to get some rain today, but that did not happen. It looks like it's gonna happen tomorrow. 50% chance of rain tomorrow. That's gonna be serious. But let me know how's today's high was 90, but it probably felt like 110. And our humidity is at 70. Yes, 70%. Tomorrow it'll be at 69%, so a little bit better, but 50% chance of rain tomorrow. Yeah. How's the weather for you over there, Magnetar, out there in Nevada? Let me see. And Magnetar says, Sith Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
We got Maddox in the building over on the Twitch side of the game. Thank you. So, you know what, Maddox, I really, really appreciate you always supporting from Twitch, because I am trying to grow over there as well. All right, let's see. Magnetar says it is 94 where he is. With humidity is 9%. I don't know if I've ever experienced that low number of humidity. So at least the air is not sticking to you. You don't get all sticky and stuff. It's rough down here in South Florida with the humidity and the heat. It's like hot water just sticking to your body. It's crazy. Anyways, let's get to this next topic of conversation. So this article is brought to us by CNBC, and it's talking about interrupting people, right? Let's get to it. So interrupting people who can't shut the up, or people who keep talking, right? Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it nice, right? So let me switch over here. And let me see, can we zoom in anymore? So to interrupt someone who won't stop talking, do 3 simple things. Others will appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Let's get to it. So this was written by Jessica Chen. And let's see, let me zoom in a little bit more on this. Ooh, there we go. So what is this thing that's just right in front of my face over here? All right, let me manipulate. Let me just get that up out of here. Get up and out of here. second. Give me a second. Inspect. We're just gonna get rid. Oops, a little bit more. Okay. Boom. Get rid of that. Let me get rid of that thing at the bottom too. Look, I don't like clutter. Kinda. Let's get rid of that down here. There we go. Boom. All right. The way that I want it. All right. So let me throw up 5 minutes on the clock. It says, have you ever been in a work meeting or social gathering where one person just won't stop talking? Some people might say that's me. I don't know, right? It's really frustrating, especially when you have something to say. As a global communication expert, I work with a lot of smart, polite people who feel like it's rude to interrupt. I feel that it's rude to interrupt. However, in my book, Smart Not Loud, How to Get Noticed at Work for All the Right Reasons, I talk about how important it is for you to speak up, especially if you have something important to add to the conversation. Here are 3 things that you need to do. Let's get into that, right? The first thing that Jessica Chen says that we need to do so that we can get our voice heard when people won't stop talking is adjust your mindset. The first step is to not think of interrupting as a bad thing. Instead, you're part of the conversation and your thoughts are just as valued as everyone else's. Now, with the right mindset, how do you actually get a word in? All right, so that's good. We're getting somewhere here. So the way that you get a word in is number 2 from Jessica Chen says, start with their name. When you find that opportune time to chime in, the first thing you want to say is the person's name. Research shows our brain lights up when we hear our name being called. It signals to us the flow of conversation has changed, and we intuitively pause to see what's going on. So it's like you're talking, and you want to get a word in, and you're like, Tech Coach Ralph, and I'm like, yes. And now you just stole my talking because you stopped me and I addressed you, and now you start going, okay, interesting, right? Says, so say the person's name firmly and politely, Magnetar. This combination shows both confidence and presence without coming across as confrontational. Roxy Jr. Interesting. Let's see. Acknowledge and redirect. Next, reroute the conversation to what you want to talk about. Be strategic by showing that you're collaborative and trying to expand their thoughts. People love to feel like their ideas were acknowledged, and also creates a seamless conversational flow. For example, you might say, Jennifer, I heard what you said about the client's concern, and it made me think about the approach we used with another client a few years ago. Ben, that's a good point on the project timeline. But Lisa, what's your take on this from a marketing perspective? Oh, you redirected to say, all right, I'm tired of hearing what you have to say. Ben, you're yapping a little bit too much. We understand your point and your perspective. Now we want to hear from Lisa, from a marketing perspective. Maya, I agree with you. What you're saying makes sense. What you're saying makes me think of this book I just read, and then you go on. And then Carter, I was silently nodding when you said that because it reminded me of what I experienced last week. ... Interesting. When someone feels listened to and heard, they're more likely to back down and make way for others to speak. Now you can drive the conversation to what you really want to talk about. Interesting. When in doubt, use this phrase. If you're unsure, if you're not sure exactly how to phrase your interjection, try this sentence whether you're in a work brainstorm or a book club meeting. I don't have any book club meetings. I do have work brainstorms. Let's see. Person's name. So let's use Magnetar. Magnetar. Can I jump in real quick here? I'd love to open up the conversation. That's fire. So Here's an example. Roxy, can I jump in real quick here? I'd love to open up the conversation to a slightly different angle. Junior, can I jump in right here? Can I jump in real quick here? I'd love to open up the conversation to see what everyone else thinks too. So basically saying, Junior, shut up. Roxy, shut up. You guys are talking too much. But you're doing it in a very nice, polite way. So when now, see, so this is my terrible mind, right? Now, when I hear somebody say my name when I'm talking, and they say, "Can I jump in here real quick? I'd love to open up." I'm gonna like, oh, they just told
Get a
me to
move
shut
on,
up.
back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
You know what? I'm gonna change this back to work thing to, it's gonna say, like once the 5 minutes is up, it's gonna say, Ralph, can I jump in here real quick? I'd love for you to get your back to work. All right. Respond to pushback. Let's say you've used this simple strategy to firmly and politely interrupt a person dominating the conversation, but this person just won't back down. What do? Being direct is key. If someone keeps going, it's okay to assert yourself even more firmly and call out exactly what you're doing. It's also powerful to pose it as a question. You might say, Sam, I appreciate your thoughts, but I'd like to make sure others have a chance to weigh in as well right now. Do you mind if we open it up? Taylor, we know you feel strongly about this, but let's give Eric a chance to speak too. Is that okay with you? What if they say no? What if they say no, it's not okay with me? I'm the captain now. Foster a respectful space for everyone. At the end of the day, you want to create a respectful environment where everybody feels like they have a chance to talk. Speaking up doesn't have to be loud and combative. Shut the hell up. No, you don't do that, right? It just has to be intentional. If you feel like someone is dominating the conversation and making it difficult for anyone else to get a word in, chances are other people feel the same way. With this approach, you can speak up tactfully and politely, keyword is tactfully and politely, but firmly, and I guarantee others will appreciate you for doing it. Shout out to Jessica Chen for her amazing insight on how to politely and tactfully interrupt people, how to say shut the hell up in a very, very nice way. Shout out to Jessica Chen. I'm going to drop the link for you guys in the chat as well in case you want to read this on your own. Interrupting people article. Boom. In case anybody wants to check that out, feel free. All right, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell every time we go live, and drop new content. Let's get that off the screen. Let me check the chat before we get into our Google Stitch and our Google VO to see what we can do with that. Let me see. Magnetar says that, well, I think Quentin has the right approach. Which approach is that? You just start talking when somebody else is talking? Excuse me, I'm talking. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, Magnetar. Oh goodness. Says, notice he singles out us feds. I do no such thing. I love my feds. All right. I don't want to get any fed upset because I'm not trying to get audited by every single branch of government. Nope. Let me see. All right, cool. So let's get into this last working segment. We are going to be getting in. We're gonna pivot away from Kubernetes from now. I'll do some more research on this to try to figure out what's going on, why this isn't working. But I think this Google Secrets thing is a small thing that we got to figure out. But put 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to do.
We're going to get into Google's. Let's do Google VO first. All right. Let me see. Let's take a look at Google VO. Let's see Google VO. And first and foremost, what is Google VO? So let's see. Create high quality 8-second videos with VO3, our state-of-the-art AI video generator. Try it with a Google AI Pro plan or get the highest access with the Ultra plan. Simply describe what you have in mind and watch your video ideas come to life with native audio generation. And these are some examples of the VO. VO3 speaks for itself. There's an owl that's flying and it lands next to a skunk. Right, it's the scene you want to watch with VO2. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do with this. Let me see if I have any access. Let me make sure it doesn't show up anything. Let me see. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Where do I try VO? So you get VO2 with the free one. You get higher limits for image to video with VO2. Access our AI filmmaking tool custom built with VO3 to create cinematic scenes. And then for the $250 a month, you get Gemini app, highest level access to VO3, our state-of-the-art video generation model, and coming soon, get the highest limits to 2.5 Pro Deep. Think our most advanced reasoning model. I don't know. Let's see. I guess I have the free one. I don't know. What do I have? I guess I have the free one. Just want to try it. So Gemini app, get more access to our most capable model, 2.5 Pro, deep research on 2.5 Pro, and unlock video generation with a limited trial of VO3. Our state-of-the-art video. Let me see what we got going on here. Get started. If I choose get Google AI Pro, I will get university. I'm not a university student, unfortunately. They should make Udemy University, and then I can be a university student. Let me see. Do I want to get Google AI Pro for a month? I don't think I do. I'm gonna skip the VO because I want to get my free month when I'm actually gonna use it. So that's why I'm jumping over it. All right, let's go to Stitch, right? I'm gonna skip Google VO for now. I don't feel like having to lose my free month. So Google Stitch, design with AI, right? So from my understanding, let me see. Let's do this. What is... I forgot where I saw this pop up the other day, but Google Stitch is an AI-powered UI design tool that helps users create app and web interfaces quickly by generating UI design and front-end code from text prompts and visual references. It leverages Google Gemini 2.5 Pro for its functionality and allows for customization and integration with tools like Figma. So let's give it a try. So here we are, design at the speed of AI. Let's do... So I've been working on a interview assistant app. So let's say I am building an app to assist job seekers get ready for interviews. The app will... So you can share the job description, job URL or job posting URL, or upload the job or the... what do you call it? Upload the file of the job description, and based on that job description, it will give you potential interview questions. So let's start with that, right? Let's start with that. Let's see what this can give us, right? So generate. Let's see. Sounds interesting. Let's outline the key screens for your job interview preparation app. So home, a welcome screen with options to input the job description via text, URL, or upload potential questions. Display a list of potential interview questions generated from a job description. Question details offer detailed insights into a selected question, including why it might be asked. User profile, allow users to manage their profile setting, view past job descriptions or questions. Ooh, I like that. Would you like to proceed with the design? Yes, let's proceed with the design. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see how long it takes as well. How long is it going to take to give us our design? Because people like UI UX designers, they would have to go into Figma, and there's probably other tools that can do this as well, but they'd have to go into Figma. They'd have to lay different things out. They would have to. So let's see what we got here. It gives us interview prep app. Get ready for your job description for your interview. Paste a job description, enter a URL, or upload a file to get started. Interview prep, potential questions. Question number 1, tell me about yourself. Question number 2, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Question number 3, why are you interested in the role? 4 or 5, and so forth. Tell me about a time that you failed. This question helps the interviewer understand how you handle setbacks and learn from mistakes. It is an opportunity to showcase your resilience and growth mindset. Interesting. Choose a real failure. Focus on what you learned. Keep it concise. Okay. And then our profile page would give us the profile of the person and their title, when they joined the app. It would give us you can edit it, you can do the settings, notifications, past job descriptions, past questions. That is pretty cool. All right, so I want to add something to the design. I want the ability to have a conversation, or not a conversation, but a mock interview. A mock interview conversation where AI will be asking the interview questions, and if I learn how to spell questions, and go back and forth with the interviewee based on their response before moving on to the next question. Let's see what happens. The designs have been, okay, I didn't see this part. Okay, so I didn't, all right, so let's integrate a mock interview feature into your app. I think that's adding a mock interview screen with the following mock interviews. Initiates a simulated interview experience with AI, posing questions and adapting based on the user response. Would you like? Yes, I would like that included. Let's see what we get. So I suppose we will be able to go back to our previous design, because I like those a lot, actually. It's got me intrigued. So get ready for your interview prep, your interview with AI-powered practice sessions. Is that all that I get? And I guess you can export it to Figma. If I go back up here, do I still get these screens? Oh, nice. Nice. So I have these screens, and let me see, if I click on edit, Oh, I can edit the actual design. Interesting. This is a game changer. Do you have any specific features or details in mind for the screen, or would you like to explore other aspects of the app? I would like to. Let me see. Do you have any specific features or details in mind? And you see, people might say, "Oh, this might replace the job of UI UX people." I don't know because I am not a UI UX person. Like this looks great to me, but UI UX people they can also see, "Oh yeah, we should put this here, we should put that there." So I think this can actually make UI UX people go a lot faster and do even better work. So I don't know. But I'm impressed by this so far. Let me see. I'm gonna bring this up at Scrum Night tonight in the Patreon. As we wrap up our sprint tonight. Let's see. What else? What other I think that's about it though. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, this all right. So if a technical project was requested for the interview, I want the app to use AI to read the GitHub repository and ask questions based on the project request and the code it reviewed. That would be pretty cool. Let's see what that has to say. Let's see what it has to say about that. So basically, I'm going through like what I'm describing is different, like how I might help somebody prepare for an interview and different things that happen during interviews where there's like a technical project request. So I'm just thinking about like all the different things that we have to deal with in different areas and how we can put that into some type of app to help people. To incorporate the analysis of technical projects from GitHub, I recommend adding Project Analysis screen. Project Analysis allows users to submit a GitHub repository link for AI analysis, generating questions based on the project. Would you like to include this in the app design? Yes, I would, but with the option of granting access to the app if the repository is private. I don't know. Just thinking. What is this standard mode? This is cool. This is really cool. We have a whole design and like we still have 5 minutes, like over 5 minutes left in this segment, and we have a whole design happening over here. Analyze your GitHub repository. This grant access to private repositories is probably not going to make sense here, but nonetheless, really, maybe this shouldn't be here because it wouldn't. I think this would have to be on the other way, like or request access. Oh, let me try that. Let me do edit. Instead of grant access to private repositories, it should be request access to private repository. right, let's do that. Let's see how that goes. Grant access, whatever. Can always, the functionality grant access for private browser has been changed to request. You did not change it, but okay, nonetheless. Oh, there's code here. Oh, let me see. Grant, let's say request. Oh, can I edit and own? All right, fair enough. Let's see if we do. What if I click on? So, all right, so right now we have a bunch of screens. We have our basic screens of the interview prep where you can put in the job description. It gives you potential questions generated from AI. It gives you why they would be asking this question and some tips to answering these questions. The profile page. And then this is the where we say, all right, let's do interview prep with AI. And then it does the analyze the project, right? Let me see, let's go with the no. Oh, sorry, it didn't generate it yet, it looks like. But one more feature I would like, yes, I would like the option to purchase or the option to have a mock interview with a human person with the associated cost. Let's do that. To integrate the option for obviously add human mock interview screen provides us with the ability to schedule and conduct mock interviews with human professionals, including details on associated costs and scheduling. Yes, that would be super cool. So now you can have the ability to choose an interviewer and schedule it right then and there and have the price. What? Practice with a professional. Get personalized feedback from experienced professionals in your field. Mock interviews are conducted via video call. 30 minutes for 150, 60 minutes for 250. Schedule the time that works for you and book your session. Interview connect with your interviewer via video call. Feedback, receive feedback and actionable insight. Book a mock interview. That is awesome. That, my friends, is Google Stitch, and we're in standard mode. We can, let me see, apply theme. You can change the colors, the fonts, go dark mode, light mode. What? That is dope. Dope. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna talk about this more tonight in our Scrum Night. Looking forward to
Lunch break.
Looking forward to the Patreon members being there for our Scrum Night tonight. But this is really cool, really cool. We are going to wrap it up for tonight. But that was Google Stitch. The last thing I wanted to talk about. So let me read the chat real quick, and then there was one more topic that I wanted to touch on, which was how long is it? It's not that long. So let me check the chat, and then we will get to this last topic about Microsoft Chief Product Officer. Roxy says that he loves us a lot. Very, very true. All right, let's get to this last article real quick. We have about 5 minutes left. Let's get to this last article, then we'll wrap up the show. Let me zoom in over here. Ew. All this stuff. Hold on. All right. Let me clean this up. All right. Just add so much. Oh, can I close this? Can I close this? Yes. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get rid of stuff. Let's go with, get rid of that. We want to keep that. Let's get rid of that. I think we're good. All right, cool. So let's read this article. Microsoft CPO says she fundamentally disagrees with the idea that people shouldn't study computer science, right? So about 3-minute read. So let's read this. This is by Sarah Perkel, or Perkel, depending on how you say it. So this is Microsoft's chief product officer. Says she disagrees with the idea that people shouldn't study computer science. Aparna and Chenapragada. I apologize for butchering the name, but Microsoft Chief Product Officer of Experiences and Devices says people should keep learning to code. Computer science isn't dead, she said on a podcast, and engineering roles will endure. For project managers, she said editing and taste making would be more important than ever. So she doesn't. So the Microsoft CPO doesn't buy the idea that coding is on its way out, as some people have been saying. Like I think Mark Zuckerberg probably says, "Oh, we're not going to need developers anymore." The Microsoft CPO disagrees with that. All right, too big. All right. So a lot of folks think, "Oh, don't bother studying computer science, or the coding is dead," and I just fundamentally disagree. The tech giant's chief product officer of experiences and devices said on Lenny's podcast. I never heard of Lenny's podcast, but that's where this information is coming from. Says, if anything, I think we've always had higher and higher layers of abstraction in programming. Despite fears that AI could ultimately render software engineers irrelevant, or at least materially cut down on job openings in the field, Chenapragada believes that AI only adds a further layer of abstraction in the existing process of programming. Says, we don't program in assembly anymore, she said. Most of us don't even program in C. And then you're kind of higher and higher layers of abstraction. So to me, there will be ways that you will tell the computer what to do, right? It'll just be at a much higher level of abstraction, which is great. It democratizes? Me and these multiple syllable words, I tell you. She said that it was possible that in the future we would think of software engineers more as software operators, but the role itself was unlikely to disappear. There will be an order of magnitude more software operators, she said. Instead of software engineers, maybe we'll have software operators, but that doesn't mean you don't understand computer science. And it's a way of thinking, and it's a mental model. So I strongly disagree with the whole coding is dead. All right. As for the fate of project managers who are subject, like many other middle managers, to big tech's great flattening, the CPO expects them to endure a bet with modified responsibilities. Taste, she said, will be more important than ever. In some sense, if you look at it, there's going to be a supply of ideas, a massive increase in supply of ideas in prototypes, which is great. It raises the floor, but it raises the ceiling as well. In some sense, how do you break out of these times that you have to make sure that something that rises above the noise? So she didn't respond to a request for comment by a Business Insider. AI makes it easier than ever to actualize an idea, she said, which means that sifting through the glut of ideas will be especially important. So project managers will need to further develop what she calls the taste making and editing instincts. So as you saw in in our last working segment using Google Stitch, we pretty much laid out a UI UX design for the interview assistant app. And we gave it and I just thought about, like, oh, what about the option so that you can interact with a real person? And boom, it created us a screen for that with pricing, with the scheduling and everything like that. So now we can take that app and say, okay, I need give me an MVP idea. You can start working on it as a team. You can start prototyping and stuff like that. So I see that there is a lot of, I understand what she's saying. So in a world where the supply of ideas, supply of prototypes become even more like in order of magnitude, not magnitar, but magnitude higher, you have to think about what is the editing function here. Because it's so much.
The sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
We're just about done. So because it's so much easier to get started, she says that she observes less of an instinct to automatically turn to a project manager for approval. So basically you can just like prototype something really, really quick, like, oh, let's see how yay or nay, and you don't have to run everything past a project manager for approval. Though final approval will become more important than ever, she believes PMs have to earn the right to judge. There's an interesting side effect I'm observing in startups that I'm advising companies, and even within the companies, that there used to be more gatekeeping. I would say in terms like, oh, we should ask the product leader what they think. Chenna Paragda said, and again, there is a role for that editing function, but you have to earn it now. So that's basically it. That is basically the story. We should not just quit studying computer science, according to the Microsoft Chief Product Officer. And I pretty much agree with a lot of things that was mentioned there about the layers of abstraction and how, software operators versus software engineers. I think that they're still going to be needed. They might have some different functions, different roles. I think AI is there to help tremendously and all that good stuff, right? But that is it for today. We are going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Software Explorations, working through DevOps, and then doing a little bit of a pivot into Google Stitch, finding out about that, seeing us build a whole layer. I'm going to clip that up and I'm going to probably post it sometime earlier on in the week. So because that was really cool. I was really impressed by what we were able to do with that. And I'm going to iterate on that. All right. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a favor. So quick announcements. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be going live, maybe a little bit later than we normally do, maybe 8:15, 8:30. We'll spend a little bit longer on it on large language models, either finishing up day 3 or starting day 4 or both. We'll find out in the morning, and then tomorrow at noon Eastern time, we're going to be premiering Candid Conversations, where we're going to be talking about domino effect of bad decisions, but also the domino effect of good decisions as well. Tune in for that. Do me a favor on our way out. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content, as well at TechCoachDrop.dev. I'm actually doing Scrum Night tonight, so if anybody wants to participate in that, join us on Google Meet. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna do a quick post in the TechCoachDrop Patreon, as well as it is in the TechCoachDrop Discord if you want to join in and tune in and see what we're talking about. All right, but with that being said, I am going to get out of here. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. TechCoachDrop, we are out.
They say I don't live in reality, and dreams I float like a stream. They say I need to grow up, who cares? Life's a wild, crazy thing. Sorry for thinking you can be successful. Magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, feeling fine. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Sorry for thinking you can be successful, magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, fees they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, feelings they preach. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me.